Do you ever hear Jason Joe's name mentioned? And if so, why not?
Well, you're asking me the hard-hitting questions right now. Actually, I don't. He's not commonly put in the top contenders of top players in the world. But I'll be honest, if you ask that question in China, for example, I think he very much would be talked about a lot. I think very much this year we've seen more and more of the other regions get involved with, you know, Europe and Americas as they fight throughout every season. And the more we see Jason Joe, the more we understand why he is a star in China and a star in the world, as this is his second time in this position in the World Championships. This is game number 2, 1-0 for Jason Joe. This is the Priest Mirror.
And luckily, Brian Kibler is not on the cast to tell Frozen to take Temporis.
I don't think he ever told anyone directly to take Temporis.
I'm pretty sure he did.
Okay. Someone just runs over to Frozen now. He's like, Frozen, should I talk about Temporis this turn? Maybe he is. We can't see the stage from here. Did not go for it. Went for the Draconid Operative. These two decks are kind of one of the stories of Priest, really, with just how powerful we expect it to be, but how many times we've seen it being played out. It's just kind of surprising to me. I really didn't expect this. Oh, indeed. The audience gets it.
Yeah.
They know what's up.
The level of knowledge from the crowd has actually been really impressive throughout. There's been moments like before the casters even explain what the thing that's happened is cool, the audience has been rumbling and mumbling and applauding things. It's been really awesome to be in front of like an educated Hearthstone audience.
It's not only me he thinks it is dumb sometimes.
I literally just said the exact opposite.
But you were surprised.
That's true.
There you go. So yes, that is an extra Anduin there for Frozen. But at the moment, both players just trying to draw what they can as fast as they can. Look at something to keep an eye on here is definitely just deck size and how many cards and how quickly each player is cycling through. Because the second one gets that 2-3 cards ahead, is when things start to go very, very wrong.
Frozen here does have the more minion-based deck with the extra dragons thrown in there, but he is going to have to try and convert that into some kind of board advantage. That's what he'll be trying to do. We saw Surrender yesterday win against Jade Druid through the mid-range minions in his conventional build, just doing little pieces of chip damage, keeping the armor under check. This is a similar effect, but a different matchup where early minion pressure can be converted into just a quicker kill with that Shadow Reaper Anduin that he's just just picked up. He might not have to dig all the way through his deck to find that full Bell and Mind Blast combo.
That's it. For every, like maybe 5 or so damage, it's like, oh, well, there's like one less card I need to be able to piece together, right? Because normally card gets you 2, maybe a little bit more damage overall, depending on the tool used. Priest of the Feast. Coming down for Jason Joe, though. That is normally a minion that has to be dealt with. Oh wow.
Speaking of Demahe.
Are you actually liking it? Mind Blast? Okay.
The damage.
Demahe. I mean, Lyra's kind of damage.
True. No, that is a fair point.
Lyra was, that was not a snap pick Mind Blast.
No, it's a good point.
Lyra's can be a scary, scary tool. Be able to just get some extra things you shouldn't be allowed in the game of Hearthstone.
Right. Yeah, it's a good point to raise, but I think the usefulness of Lyra comes more into the kind of Jade Druid matchups, where you just don't really have the damage in your deck to be able to push through the amount of armor they can generate, unless you're Surrender, in which case, of course, somehow you just magic more damage out of thin air. I don't know.
Check if Surrender's hero power was actually doing the correct amount. Maybe it was doing like 1 extra damage and we just didn't notice.
Right. In that scenario, Lyra just literally adding more cards and more pings into your deck can be of great usefulness, but Frozen has the damage covered in his deck already, so just grabbing Mind Blast with Bellin already in hand just seems like a greater prospect.
Also, depending on how this game goes, there's the mental stability of Jason Joe that might be in question after seeing the Anduin from the Glimmer route was the way he could lose this game, which would be absolutely insane. A little bit demoralizing, I think, in this series.
I don't think Jason's mental state is in question, based on the fact that he's already been 2-0 down this tournament and come back with reverse sweeps. Like,
true.
He has very much demonstrated that he knows how to keep a level head and keep going in these situations.
I was a bit surprised by that is not a discover. It's a trap often people fall into.
But what he's doing is he's considering whether a pit fighter, essentially a 5-mana 5/6, is even worth being in his hand. Right, because his hand is quite full right now. He's going to want to cycle cards. There's the threat of overdraw from the opponent, all that kind of stuff. So we're just making sure. We have seen it be correct in the past. I believe Orange and one other player at Summer Championships made that same play where they played Glimmeroot and deliberately picked wrong to not have the card in their hand.
Only sometimes that's relevant, but yes, it is definitely a consideration in the most important match of Hearthstone in your life.
Exactly. And why not think about everything, right?
My mind can't handle that. That's what I've got you for. Sure. Kazakus Potion option is another 5. We've seen quite a large amount of 5 Kazakus Potions there, as opposed to the general feeling of 1 that goes around a lot in Highland Freeze. Summon 2, draw 2 though, that's just a solid value card overall.
Yeah, and currently the summon 2 for Jason Joe is exactly Loot Hoarder Novice Engineer, I believe. So that's actually draw 3, essentially, is what that Kazakus Potion does for 5 mana. It's pretty solid. We just got a real match.
I can't even say that enthusiastically. We just got a real match. That's what it sounded like to me. But Raza is going to even this up a little bit here as Anduin, with no 0-mana hero power for Frozen, will be negated just a little bit here. I do always struggle to just not play Raza if I have it. Yeah. It feels really bad to say, oh, you know, I've got Raza, pretty good. Hero power 0 every single turn. I'm going to play this instead. There were very few times when that feels good.
Yeah, I can't remember exactly who it was that tweeted this on day 1. It may have been TikTok, actually.
It was TikTok.
Someone tweeted, just stop what you're doing and play Raza on 5. Like, stop thinking about doing other plays. Although, Sintalol did offer us the advice that you don't listen to TikTok if you want to do well in the World Championship. So, I don't know who to believe.
Yeah, I mean, what if someone says you shouldn't listen to Sintalol?
Exactly.
Then it becomes a bit of a paradox.
It's a mess.
And then we definitely don't listen to Paradox.
Oh, 100%.
Didn't play the Raza. See if it pays off for Jason Joe.
Is someone injured?
These matchups often, when discussed, really focus on the Raza and Anduin interactions. Of course, it's the power point of the draft. But
that's fair.
why not at this point? But I will say, managing exactly how many resources to use against these early minion pushes every turn does also make or break the game at this point in the mirror.
Circle of Healing here will pull Frozen back up to exactly 10, but he does have the coin and a silence that he can throw away. And with his deck size dwindling, he is going to choose to prevent the overdraw, which, I had a very lengthy discussion on Twitter about the other night, is only relevant, of course, if you're going to Fatigue, which Frozen is approaching at this point, with a very important card, Raza the Unchained, still remaining in his deck.
Yeah, I will say as well, Frozen, I talked about, keep an eye on the deck counts. Frozen, 11 cards. Jason Joe, 17. He was on the receiving end of a Psychic Scream as well, which definitely didn't help the matters. But that is a huge difference in this matchup. Even like 3 cards is huge. Never mind it. 7-2, draw 2 is going to come out to play. Pyromancer and the Loot Hoarder, so that's 1 additional draw going down. And finally, we do see the Raza, just for some extra heal now to try and negate these hero powers, because again, sometimes you don't need Raza to win, especially with the extra Mind Blast of Frozen.
I know it was changed, but just my years of Hearthstone experience tell me that Pyromancer's supposed to go off there. It just feels wrong. You know that feeling when you're walking down a set of stairs and you think there's one more and there isn't?
Oh,
just your whole body feels wrong. That's what that feels like to me.
You did not fall onto the chair.
Got some Raza.
Piece of light Raza, okay, yeah. But that is going to be lethal, guys. The coin is going to be used to be able to get this unconventional win. For Frozen, it's going to be 1-1. Mind Blast for 10. Coin, hey, second Mind Blast for another 10. And that is the game. Frozen.